So welcome everybody. This is Sara Estelle Turner here. Welcome to the Create a Magical Business webinar. Please say hello as you arrive, and I'd love to know what kind of healing gifts you have to offer to the world. If you want to pop them in the chat box, you are very, very welcome. So we're going to get started. So it's very special for me to be able to share this information with you, as sharing my gifts with the world has been one of the biggest keys for transformation for me on so many levels. I've been a healer now for over 30 years, and there have been many lows in my life and business, but the steps I'm going to share with you today have helped me go from a day job doing my healing on the side, where I was pretty unhappy, to relocating to a new country with my family and bringing my business with me. And I'm going to go into a little bit more details to how that's worked, to hopefully inspire you that you can do this too. But first of all, I want to thank you for being here today, and also to acknowledge the overlighting energies that you work with, whatever kind of healer you are, and that have nudged you into taking your time to be here today with me. So I promise it's going to be worth your while. So let's get started. So you're absolutely in the right place if you're undercharging in your business, but you can't see how you could charge more. You are in the right place if you're just starting out as a healer, or maybe you're more experienced and just not getting where you want to be. Lovely to see all your comments as they're coming through. Thank you for sharing. You're absolutely in the right place if you know you want to make a big difference to our world. And if you'd love to discover your own unique magical superpowers, because it's one of the keys to actually taking your gifts out there. It's very, very important. You're in the right place if you're absolutely ready, and that the key word there is ready, to own your true worth without any ego. That's the old world paradigm. And you're in the right place if you're fed up with being broke, but there's a little part of you, or maybe even a big part of you, feels that if you were to allow a bigger income flow through your life, it might change who you are. And you're in the right place if it would break your heart and your soul not to take your sacred work forwards. And finally, you're in the right place if you're looking for guidance from someone who is a healer and who has also faced her fears and created a successful and magical business. And I'm loving seeing all the things that you do. Very, very important for you to see that of each other as well. So before we actually get started, I just wanted to inspire you, because so many people nowadays are trained in different ways of healing, and there are more and more people hearing the call of their soul and with a deep desire to share their gift, which the energy therapies that we all own here are, in my opinion, one of the few things that can tip the balance of our planet right now. So it's so, so important for us to be out there. And that's actually what kind of allows me to take my courage and offer these trainings. So to inspire you, there is absolutely no reason why your business cannot be successful if we just look at figures. So here's some research. The wellness market is now 3 times larger than the worldwide pharmaceutical industry. So that gives power to us. The complementary and alternative medicine therapies have seen a 65% increase since 2010. Healthy eating, nutrition and weight loss, 108% growth. Preventative and personalized health, 78% increased. And beauty and anti-aging have seen a 51% increase. So this is exciting times for healers. And I'm sharing these statistics to show you that there is a demand for what you do. There is absolutely a demand for what you do. For people in the world want to know a different way of living, and our planet needs us to step up and take it out there. So you have the tools. If you're here listening right now, you have the tools, and it's my passion, I hope you can hear that through my voice, to actually encourage you to take your courage and start walking. So I'd love to know, please, what the biggest challenge is you face right now as a healer. And by listening to us, to me today, by being part of this today, what transformation would you love to experience? So if you wouldn't mind typing that in the chat box, that is very helpful for me. I'm loving seeing your comments. I'm sorry I can't really respond individually to you, but I can see them going past, and it's very inspirational. So thank you for sharing. So I'm going to keep going, but as I do, I'd love to know what your biggest challenge is and what you would like to experience just by being here this evening. Let's bring in the magic so that this is possible. So my goal and wish today is to inspire you with what is possible when you make the decision to follow your soul path. And I want to get you really focused on the 3 things that I believe, and in my experience, you must absolutely do if you seriously want to make a difference in the world and be rewarded financially. There are so many distractions nowadays about how to do this, and my own journey has shown me that there are key steps, and my wish is to get you clear on what they are. Sometimes I know it gets a little bit icky and a little bit uncomfortable if we talk about money. Sometimes we feel that it's not very spiritual, but just so that you know this, I am going to be talking about money. And I totally understand that we can get a little bit compromised by talking about it. But I'm somebody who takes care. I take care of my family. I'm the sole earner in my family. And I've also spent many years being very broke, very stressed, and even unwell. And I became very clear that it's also not spiritual not to take care of yourself. And it's not spiritual to be broke. So I personally don't have the luxury of being able to not be able to bring the financial equation into my business. I became very ill and hospitalized quite a few years ago whilst doing a job that I didn't love and fitting in my healer work around the edges. And I made a promise to myself that I would only ever work at what I loved. And I started to make different decisions and also to make money. So I don't want you to have to do what I did. I certainly don't want you to compromise your health, your energy, your family, your dreams. There are easier ways to do this. It's a very exciting time to be alive because it's very possible now for people of our age, and I'm suspecting we're all in a similar kind of age group, to walk forward, something that possibly our mothers were not able to do. So here's what you're going to learn if you stay to the end. How by specializing and not trying to help everybody, you will find clients more easily. So I'm going to talk about that more, but I was quite challenged by that. Also, the very first thing to do before you get your business cards printed, a lot of what's put out there today by the complementary health healing world and the colleges and things, it's fab advice, but it's not hugely practical if you want to sustain yourself financially. I'm also going to be sharing with you the one aspect I believe you need to explore if you want to break out of the therapist healer pricing model and begin to support yourself in more feminine ways. And what I mean by that is going from the old paradigm into a new, more flowing paradigm. And these are all things that I have done myself and continue to. And I'm also going to inspire you, I hope, to finally and share with you how I believe you can finally become visible in the healing world so you can serve others and take care of yourself and those you love. So make sure you stay right to the end, because I'm going to be sharing with you a very special way that I can help you create your magical business. So first of all, I'm going to be sharing with you the steps that I took to move from a life of being a very broke healer to running a successful healing business, and that enabled me to move to a new country and continue to run my business while I was relocating in 2005. I actually think here, let me just check. I've got a jumpy mouse here, so let me just go back a bit, because I think, yeah, there we go. I'm going to start there. So for those of you who don't know me, I think I've missed out introducing myself here. For those of you who don't know me, let me introduce myself. I'm an energy healer, specializing in flower and vibrational medicine. I'm a priestess, and I live in the southwest France with my soul partner Ian and my 2 cats. I'm the chair of the British Flower and Vibrational Medicine Association. My Essentially Flowers diploma in flower and vibrational medicine has now over 45, we're actually nudging towards 50 right now, graduates from 7 countries around the world. I'm the co-author of 2 best-selling books, Cultivating Joy and Opening to Gratitude and Grace. I'm also the creator of my own range of essences called Moonflower Essences. And I'm the founder of Create a Magical Business. I'm also a certified sacred money archetype coach and a money breakthrough method coach. So just a little bit about me, so that you know a little bit about my background. So, but not so many years ago, as I shared earlier, I was very broke, and I've turned my life and my business around using the information I'm sharing with you now. So I'm sharing with you the plan I used to take myself from being a broke healer to now running a successful business that enabled me to relocate my family to a new country and continue to run my business whilst relocating in 2015, and continues to support me and my family now that we're settled in France, using the very steps I'm sharing with you here today. So this is not some theory that I've dreamed up. This is actually what I've used. And if it's changed my life, then it can change yours too. A lot of what I've done has been easy, but a lot of it has taken full trust and faith from myself. So here's a photo of me around 16 years ago. I was a teacher in English as a foreign language. I loved teaching. I'm a good teacher. I lived with my soulmate, same one as I have now. I'd done a lot of things. I had gained a degree in marketing. I'd lived in lots of different countries. I was training as a practitioner in flower and vibrational medicine. But all my healing work was done in the evenings when I was exhausted. And most of the time I offered it for free or for a very small donation. And my sense of self-worth was very, very low, as was my energy. And I think, I'm not sure if you know what I look like now. I'm older, obviously, but I look very different to what I was. Horribly, horribly thin. And this is me in my late 30s. And I'm pretty much 20 years on from that now. So the reality of it was, this is the house that we lived in. It was on a busy road. It was a lovely house, actually, but it was on a busy road. My work drained me. And the saddest thing was that I had no clue I could even change my life. And this is what I really, really, why I'm sharing a little bit about myself, because I want you to know that I want you to open your eyes and your heart to the fact that it's possible to change your life. Okay, so apparently the slides are not showing. Thank you for letting me know. So let's see if we can get them showing. Okay, there they go. Hopefully you can see them now. Technology. There we go. So this is the house that I lived in. Yeah, so I was very far away from the nature kingdom at this time. So I think you'll probably be able to see the slides now. So it's all fixed. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Well done. Thank you for letting me know. So, but as all of that was happening, one of the things my partner and I were doing right from the first time we were together was we dreamt of living in France. And we even visited France several times to look for houses. But each time we were faced with the challenge: how on earth would we take care of ourselves while we were there? We had no spare money, and there seemed to be no way we could easily earn money to sustain us if we did move to France. I'm well known in my family for being a little bit different. I'm a bit of the black sheep in my family. I haven't followed family traditions. I was the first to go to university, and to my knowledge, I was the first to what my mum called a career woman, which didn't please me when she first called me that. But I think what she was sensing was that she knew, and I knew, that there was more to life, and that I was called for different things. And I'd already done many different things than others in my peer world. So here's a very good friend of mine called Alison. She's the kind of friend who chooses amazing personalized presents. And this is what she gifted me with one Christmas. It was during a time when I was going through a lot of self-doubt and hardship. And it was a very sacred reminder to me of what I was here to do. And I knew that as a very small child that I was here to do magical, different things, but I'd forgotten, as we often do, as I grew up. So this was a reminder from my lovely friend that the planet does need me, and what I know, just as it needs you and what you know. This is a message for you too. But my quest at the time was like, well, so how do you do this? How do I become a healer and get paid for it and sustain me? I had absolutely no idea. So how could we follow our dreams and move to France? Because there was no prospect of work. I didn't want to be an EFL teacher in France. We had absolutely no savings. There was nothing to come from a family. And how could I find time to build a business when I was already working full time? And most of all, how could I begin to speak about soul healing and asking for money? And this wasn't just about subsistence. It was really about going for our dream together as a couple and following my soul calling. I also had this program running inside of needing to be liked. You may have a similar program. And so what this did for me is that I went out of my way to do everything for everybody, just in case I wouldn't be loved. It was a program running that I learned when I was a small child. Of course, when we do these things, it's always mostly unconscious. I expect many of you, I can see, understand that. But the first step is to become aware of it. Because when you're aware of it, you can choose to make different decisions. But at the time, it was one of the biggest ways of me sabotaging my life. The other problem was that the worlds of business and healing seemed so intangible. I needed to be visible as a healer, yet inside I had a great fear inside me of somehow being attacked or not being liked. So, and as I grew into this new person, it was like, well, what happens if people don't like me? And so what happened was that my degree in marketing just kind of seemed as such a different world that I did nothing at all. And I just stayed doing what I was doing and unhappy. However, something was shifting and I started to follow a soul calling, and my teacher self helped me to set up a practitioner diploma in flower and vibrational medicine. I'd had great success myself participating in online studies. And so I had the belief and the experience to pass this on. So I put together my own diploma, got it accredited by the British Flower and Vibrational Essence Association, made sure it was insurable. And what was the magical thing that these people you see here were the very first people to come forward to take part. So as the potential of this began to become visible to me, and because we were thinking, or more than thinking, we were actually making plans now to put our house on the market, I knew that to survive both energetically and financially, The business needed to accompany me as I moved. It's what's called nowadays a portable business. And so I needed somebody who knew how to do this and who could show me how to do it in a way that was in integrity with my path and the healing world. So here's the lady that did that for me. There is a saying that when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And the meeting with mine, this is Bernadette Doyle, was divinely timed and divinely guided. So I've received an invitation to apply for a session with Bernadette. I've been following her for quite a few years, but there was a part of me that was always saying, well, this kind of thing isn't for me, so therefore I won't. She doesn't work with spiritual people. It's not possible. You know, you can't up-level your business to that kind of thing when you're spiritual. But I applied this time anyway, and what felt like miraculous at the time was that I had a session with her. I cried all the way through the session, and I actually feel quite emotional just talking about it now. You might be able to hear it in my voice, because what came up and out was me asking again and then, how on earth do I do this? How do I make enough money from an energy-based business? How do I do this? I work with the elemental and celestial kingdoms. I work with the angels and the fairies. How do you do this? What was important, though, was that I felt completely heard by this lady. And I knew in my heart at that moment that I had to move forward and I had to say yes to working with her. It was a very sacred moment that she also remembers. She talks about it in her trainings now. And it was a real turning point for my life when I said yes. But here's the thing. I didn't have the money to pay for the program. It was 6 years ago, and it was a £3,500 investment for a year. And I didn't have £3,500. There was a payment plan, though. The monthly payments were much, much more than I could afford. But I said yes anyway. And I trusted that life would give me the way forward. My partner didn't understand. He didn't get why I was wanting to spend so much money on something we had no proof would work. But I did it anyway. It wasn't hugely popular, but I did it. And now he is so, so happy that I decided not to listen. So what was really happening then was that I knew I was being totally supported by the elemental kingdom. And the day that I said yes out loud, I knew that I was heard. And I knew it was a lesson of trust. I also knew I was making an investment in my future. And it was the first and totally necessary step towards our new life, the one we have here in France, and to honouring my soul calling. So I was overjoyed for the first few weeks because I knew I'd done the right thing. But I also, as with all these kinds of things, after a few months, you start to kind of get a bit real and think, oh my goodness, what on earth what did I do there? How am I going to pay this every month? But I turned up at each of the meetings. I asked for guidance at each step. I was always there. I listened to what I was being told. You don't pay that amount of much of money without listening and then going forward. And I put into practice what I was being taught, and it started to shift everything for me. So I made significant changes under the guidance of my mentor. It was very scary, but it was working. And as my business expanded, I was able to let go of the remaining jobs that I had held on to for security. And I recommend that if that's your situation right now, is that you actually, I call it taking yourself out toe by toe. So we began to experience a cash flow that we hadn't had for many, many years. We were able to go on short holidays. We could have meals out. We could buy ourselves new clothes. We could get our cars fixed in the garage. They were all maybe normal things for many people, but they hadn't been normal for us. And this had a huge knock-on our confidence and sense of well-being. And we realized that after years of doing things in an old way, we had an option to do it differently and to earn money in a different way, and it was incredible. This photo here, as you might guess, is a picture of me and my man. So the truth of it was, though, that I had invested in many healing programs for many years, and the money came as a result of all the work that I'd been putting in for years. So just allow that reflection for yourself. But it wasn't until I connected with the mentor who truly understood me, believed in me, and who could guide me forwards that I was able to experience this shift. I really, truly couldn't have done it alone. However, one day my first fear happened. I got an email that carried the attack that I had most feared. Success always comes with its own challenges, and not everybody was understanding of my new business and my way of working. It hurt a lot to be judged in this way, and I felt very, very misunderstood. And it was really that my worst fear had come to pass. However, I had all the support I needed with my mentor and the group of women that I was part of to rise above this and to see it for what it was. Whenever we step up in this way, the universe always gives us something to say, you really want to do this? And it's really necessary for us to see it for what it is and to just say yes and to keep walking. So my support network and my mentor reflected back to me that my experience was part of my stepping up, and that I was so much stronger than any attack of words or behavior that could come towards me. And as you can imagine, it could have been very easy to shrink back into my old self, becoming Sarah that was very easy to like again. Yet I knew that I couldn't do that. And I'd promised myself, and I'd promised the elemental kingdom to do things differently, and that I had a life ahead of me that was waiting for me. So we put our house on the market, finally. And in the process of sorting through clothes, I came across the t-shirt my friend had gifted me with all those years ago. There it was, lying in the cupboard, neatly folded and never worn. It was time for me to put on the t-shirt and really take on board the message that the planet needs me. It wasn't a cheesy line in a story. I knew deep inside it was my soul calling. And it was at this point that the light began to come back on in my eyes and heart. And I really felt that I was back on track. So following the lunar cycles and taking major decisions around our relocation according to the seasons and lunar cycles, alongside practical action, our house sold on the spring equinox. And by the summer solstice, my family and I were in France. It happened really, really quickly. So this is the first cottage we lived in 2015. So I had set up a business that could travel with me, remember. It was all done very, very intentionally. And this is what I want to inspire you with. You can create whatever you want to create. You just need to know what it is. And I'm thinking that you know what it is because you're here, and then put in place the steps to support you. So as I moved, and it took a few months to do it, I continued to support my course participants as we moved. And I can remember very clearly how technology and teams of people that I had put in place lined up to help me. And I felt and still feel very, very grateful. The most amazing thing of all is that my healing business supported the whole move and continues to support us now, all because of the structures that I had put in place. So they were structures that took care of me even while I was relocating. And it's very, very important for you, especially those of you who may already have a business, but you're not growing as you want to see that structures are really, really important. It's what the earth element gifts us with. So our new life here in France gives me many, many occasions to be grateful and to remember the life that I had before, and to how really I am truly grateful to now be self-sufficient and to experience freedom with no mortgage, doing only what I love. Many people often, you are so lucky, you have such an amazing job. And yes, I do, but it's because I chose it, and you can do that too. So I realized it was the moment I merged my love of nature and all that she taught me personally with all that my mentor and life had taught me, that my life moved into the direction that I had so longed for. I had wondered for a long time, how on earth could you create a successful business while working with the nature kingdom? And here I was, enjoying the fruits. A while back, a friend of mine asked me how we transformed our lives from one of lack and acceptance of our lot to one of realizing our dreams and earning from what I love. She commented on how hard I worked, and it made me really reflect on how I actually did this. And in that process of reflecting, I got really clear that it wasn't luck or hard work, although I had worked hard. The key was alignment, and at each moment checking with my heart and being guided by my soul path forwards. It was trust and faith and choosing to believe in love and trust and not fear. Part of that process was the result of applying focused steps that my mentor taught me over and over and over. And I'm going to share with you some of those steps very shortly. And I applied those steps alongside the lunar cycle and the season that I so loved and understood. And it's a process I now call manifesting with the moon. So now that we're living in France, this is a view from our balcony, our terrace, in fact. The house fulfills so many of the elements we wrote on our wish list all those years before. We even have a view of the sea, actually the Gironde estuary, which we'd never dreamed would be possible. My business supports me and is ever evolving and bringing joy to me. And one of the joys is hearing the feedback from course participants on the Create a Magical Business and the diploma course about how they too are experiencing beautiful life transformations personally and with their healing businesses. So what I want to really just underline, and you're going to hear me saying this a lot, you can create a successful business as a healer and create a successful lifestyle for yourself that nourishes and nurtures yourself and those you love. You can do this. I passionately believe that if you have the soul calling to share your unique healing gifts with many people, and you have a desire to be financially rewarded whilst doing this, so that you can give up your day job and give it yourself at your highest level, then you can. And this is why I do what I do, to bring people like you back onto your soul path. And with that sentiment and energy, I'm going to show you how. So here's what I'm going to share with you today. The 3 things that I believe in my experience that complementary therapists, healers, whatever label we want to give ourselves, must do if they are serious about making a difference in the world and being rewarded financially. So the 2 things there is about offering your soul work and being rewarded financially. So if your internet, my slides are still going forward, I think possibly it's an internet connection. So just listen away. Everything seems to be going fine my end. So your first sharing, I'm going to repeat everything in audio as well so that you can hear. So the slides will very much depend on your internet connection as well. Okay, so the very first thing I want to share with you is that it's really, really, really important that you get clear on your own unique sacred gifts. So here's why. There are many health practitioners, light workers, healers nowadays, aromatherapists, reflexologists, Reiki healers, crystal, flower essence therapists, EFT practitioners. I've probably missed loads out. There are so many of us nowadays. But if you want to attract a constant flow of clients to you and to serve these clients at your highest potential, you need to know and own your own gifts. Whatever you shared with me that you are so much more than that. I'm a flower essence therapist, but if I were to promote my business from that, I certainly wouldn't be here right now. We need to dig deep deep, deep and find out what it is we really, really, really are here to offer. So, for example, if you're a reflexologist, sharing and explaining exclusively the benefits of reflexology will not differentiate you from other reflexologists in your area, and the clients that need you will find it hard or even impossible to find you. If we label ourselves by our modality, like reflexologist, fluorescence therapist, Reiki healer, whatever it is we do, we're kind of putting ourselves into the pricing model of the therapist. And so what happens is that we then open ourselves to price comparison. So let's say you live in a small town and somebody wants to find a reflexologist, and they do a bit of searching. However they do it doesn't really matter, and they discover that there are 3 reflexologists in this small town. Now, if each reflexologist calls herself, I'm a reflexologist, and this is what I charge, this is the center I work out of, what is likely going to happen is that the person will choose via price. Now, not always, but there will be nothing of the personality, of the unique story of the therapist, of actually what the person really, really needs. Yes, they might want reflexology, but they want something more than that. Their soul is calling for something. So we need to start to explain ourselves to get clear on what we truly, truly offer. And this is what I teach in my programs, is that we need to find our unique sacred gifts. So let me carry on with that train of thought here as well. So this is what happens to us. This is a little circle that we go in. First of all, we gain a qualification. And we do a little happy dance, and we think, wow, that was so amazing. I did that. I really, really, really enjoyed it. I'm going to have so many clients. And we get really excited as to all the things that we can offer, and people are going to benefit from all the things that we've learned. And then a few weeks later, so we get our business cards printed, maybe a leaflet to put in the house shop. And then not a lot happens, and we feel really, 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 really disappointed. Can you relate to that? I'm sure you probably can. So what happens when we get really disappointed is that we then say to ourselves, well, actually, it's not the fault of my business cards or anybody else. It's because I'm not good enough. So I best go and learn something new. So we re-enroll for another qualification. And we have an amazing time, and we heal some more, and we come out the other side with another bit of paper. We go, wow, I can really heal the world now. I've got this therapy and that therapy. So we print some more business cards, add an extra label, get another leaflet up in the health shop. And guess what? Not a lot happens, because we are in that therapist pricing model, most likely. And so we think, you know what, I'm really not good enough. So I best go and learn some more. It's better, much better, if I don't put myself out right now, because I'm clearly not good enough. So I'm either not going to do anything, or I'm going to learn some more. So can you relate to that? I certainly can, because it's something I did. I've got plenty of pieces of paper. So what happens in these places, and this is what I did, is that I gave myself away, because I had this scenario going where, I think that some of you are recognizing this, where because no clients were coming, I thought, well, I'm not good enough. So I really want to do this though, and these people clearly need help, so I'm just going to give it away. And what happened then was I got exhausted, my self-worth got even lower, and I ended up hospitalized because I was so very exhausted. Now, I don't wish that on anybody else, and that's one of the reasons why I really urge you to listen and to see a different way of doing this. So the other option we have at that time is either to give ourselves away or to stop. Okay, well, I'll just carry on doing that other job that pays the bills, and I'll just kind of forget that I'm a healer, and maybe one day I can do it. But We close our own energies down when we do that. It's not a great thing because you're ignoring your soul calling. So remember that you have a gift that nobody else has. No one else has. And this is where we need to step away from ego. You have something that nobody else on this planet has. And I truly, truly, truly believe this. And what you need to do is to fully own that gift. And then you need to make visible to the world your gift. So yeah, I can see a lot of you are relating to that. Okay, so I'm just going to refresh my screen here to see if I can help. Okay, so let me turn this back on. And let's go from there. So as I say, things are working this end, so I'm thinking it must be internet speeds. So let's not get distracted by technology here too much. You have a unique gift that nobody else has. So please own it and please make it visible. Now, if you don't know what that unique gift is, I'm going to help you a little bit right now. So I want you to look back at all your clients that you have ever helped. If you haven't had paying clients, look back at the people that you've helped. And I want you to look for the most sacred transformations. It could be that they got better physically. It depends what your modality is. But we're not looking for my back's better since my massage or my reflexology. We're looking for what shifted in their life. What could they do after they worked with you that they couldn't do before? People change their jobs. They find new partners. They move. They start enjoying life in different ways. They take up hobbies. So this is what we're looking for. Yes, people might have a less painful shoulder or knee or whatever it is, but that's not really what we're looking for. We're looking for what happens when their shoulder or their knee or whatever feels better, or their confidence soars, or their anxiety dissipates. This is where your magic lies, and this is what you need to share with everybody. So focus on that which you are brilliant at, and that which gives you joy, and it's this that will pull you forwards. The old paradigm is the old kind of work. The new paradigm, the divine feminine, asks you to step up, shine your light, be who you are, share your gift. Be joyful. Let everybody see that and hear it. That will pull you forward. That's not your ego. It's your true, authentic heart space. Yes, so I can see some of you realizing that your clients have done amazing things. So if you're not taking yourself forward, right, why not? Because there are people out there that need you. And I truly, truly, truly believe that. So I encourage you to start moving away from the therapist pricing model of comparison and single sessions. Now, if you're listening and earning an income is not important to you, maybe there's somebody in your family who already earns an income and that is not a concern of yours, then maybe it's absolutely okay to work from single sessions and to charge what the therapists in your town charge. That's fine. I'm not judging that. However, if you wish to earn a living from it, and a living that allows you to go on holiday, to have a car, to do things that please you and to take care of yourself, you won't do that by following the therapist pricing model. I promise you, you won't. And there are other ways of doing this, and this is what I have done and teach myself, and I'm sharing the first steps with you here. So focus on the transformation that you're calling into your clients' lives. It's most likely going to be linked to your transformation, and charge what you are worth. Now, what you are worth comes from what you feel you are worth. It's nothing to do with what reflexologists or Reiki healers or fluorescence therapists, nothing to do with that. It's what you feel you are worth. So much of, you can see from the header of the slide, if you can see the slide here, Create a Magical Business is merging heart-centered soul alignment with practical action. So it's about really diving deep into your work and taking practical action. The two things have to go together. So I'm going to share with you a couple of people that have worked with me who are great examples of this. This is Sharon. Sharon, when she first started working with me, as she says here, was completely overwhelmed, financially stressed out, and had no focus or direction. She was actually about to lose where she was living. It was pretty dire. So what Sharon has done, Sharon's a very experienced therapist, and was then, and actually had clients, but she was just in this therapist model. So what she did, Sharon, from her life experience, has experienced chronic fatigue. And so when she started to get the hang of this through following the program that I offer, she now offers something called the Energy Recovery Program. And she teaches people with her own tools how to recover their energy. And what's happening now is that she has a much, much better income flow. She's able to do things that she couldn't do before, and she is so much happier. So there's an example of somebody who's moved from a therapist model into offering what she knows how to do. And my goodness, there are lots of people that need what she offers. Here's somebody else. This is Esther. So Esther says, before I began working with Sara, I didn't have many regular clients. My pricing was very poor, and I felt almost guilty for charging for my healing work. And I wasn't working from my heart center. Now I have regular clients. My website has undergone a transformation. My pricing is better, and I feel I am charging my worth. I walked away from a well-paid but soul-destroying job to have the space to build my business, and I've never regretted it. Sara's guidance and support have been vital in helping me move forward. I could not have done it alone. So you can see there, somebody who is already a healer, very, very already deeply working with people, but giving herself away. And she knew her soul wanted something different. So she took her courage. Sometimes these things take a lot of courage, and we need faith. And that's why support is part of what I believe is part of the answer. Here's somebody else whose story is very touching. This is Victoria. Victoria works with special needs animals. And when I first met Victoria, she was working with animals, but she was kind of like working with all animals and all humans. She had a very, very wide spread to her work. And again, was giving herself away because she loved healing so much that she just wanted to do it. So Victoria has now started to specialize in special needs animals. And as she says, before I started the course, I was feeling fairly hopeless that my business would ever be a business. And I was just getting 1 or 2 clients a month. But since starting, I've had many more clients flowing in. And I feel now that they're the right clients for me and my business. So yeah, and for Victoria as well, it was a big plunge. It wasn't an easy step, but she took her courage, and look at her lovely smiling face. So that was my first share with you, quite a long one. So here's the second thing that I want to share with you this evening. It's really, really important that you have a step-by-step plan that is in alignment with your sacred gifts and connected to your vision. Now, there's actually 2 points here. The first one is we need a plan, and that we need the plan to be in alignment. So it was when that I began putting into practice the steps my mentors were teaching me that my business shifted. I told you that already. But for those of us who are healers, the steps need to look and feel in alignment. And this actually has become one of my magical superpowers that I was talking about to you before. So let me talk a little bit more about that. I'm sure you know that some of the marketing out there for business building can feel a bit awkward and corporate for healers. We know it makes sense, but it's kind of salesy and yucky. But here's the thing, it's not actually the techniques that are yucky or salesy, it's the energy that's behind it. So this is where we need to be very, very authentic. And if we're going to use more direct techniques to get people to come onto what we offer, maybe like you've come onto this training, it's something direct. I invited you to come and you're here. But the energy that flows through that invitation is felt by the person at the other end. And it's really got nothing to do with the words. The energy flows through, even if you're in a completely different place and country. So this is where us being in alignment is very, very important. So we need to have a plan, and we need to make sure it's in alignment with your unique healing gifts, which is what we spoke about before. So let me give you an example. When I first started planning, I used to do it basically, but it was something that felt really old and quite boring, and I didn't really feel as if I was in alignment, but I didn't really know what to do about it. And then one day I had a bit of a light bulb moment. For many years as a woman, I'd followed the lunar cycle intimately. I knew how the moon was. I knew always where the moon cycle was just by closing my eyes and feeling into my body. Yet when it came to business, I used the Roman calendar. I stepped into different energy and the presets of the modern world. And it was when I realized that I had business Sarah was doing Roman calendar, personal Sarah was doing the lunar calendar, that I thought, oh, gosh. So why not bring the energies of the natural cycles into my business? Why not honor the seasons? Why not honor the lunar cycles? Why not honor the elements and use their energy to support me and infuse into everything I do? And it was at this moment that the energy of my business shifted, and I began to feel inspired and to acknowledge my own unique sacred gift. And I shared to you that our move to France was very, very, very much overseen by the lunar cycles, and continues to be. Is what I teach in Manifesting with the Moon, and many people who embrace that see that when we align ourselves with the seasons, things shift so much more easily. So why would we work with natural energies as we do, and then use systems to promote ourselves and services that are infused with old world energies? It doesn't make sense, does it? So what we need to do always is to call in your biggest vision. Your business is a co-creation. Your business is you in part, but your business is an energy that's aside from you, and you walk together. You are co-creating. You're the hands and the legs. So call in your biggest vision and keep breathing life into it. In the programs that I run, we have new moon webinars, and every single new moon I set, and I invite my students to set new moon intentions alongside me. If you do that again and again and again and again and again, keep that word going. Keep breathing life into what you do. Stay surrounded by people that believe in you. Follow the steps. You will, I promise, take your business forward. And I know that's a big kind of guarantee, but I kind of know it and believe it. So here's again a couple of people who have lovely examples of this. This is a lady called Diana. So Diana shares that she had pulled herself through some difficult times in her life, which was leaving her with feelings of not being enough. There's that word again. And feeling stuck and despondent. She'd taken on far too many things. She was very overwhelmed. And she came on board one of our courses, and it was a big leap for her. What happened was that she did a lot of clearing on all levels. And she started to breathe again. She started to see where she was going because she'd cleared so much physically, energetically, spiritually, belief-wise. And she now has a much clearer sense of where her unique skill set fits into the healing world. I no longer feel overwhelmed or despondent, and I get more done, and I feel more upbeat. And she shares very kindly that if you come into the energy of my courses, it's not about bullying, but it's the priestess in me. It's to reflect it back. You have the answers inside of you. And that's what I want to encourage you to go inward. The feminine way of earning money and taking your business forward is to look inside yourself. You know those answers. And sometimes we need to be held in sacred circles for that to happen. Somebody else who has been part of one of my courses, this is Chris of Pearl Aroma, very experienced aromatherapist, had a product range of essential oils, never really got it going, doing all the things she thought she should do, but it wasn't really happening. She didn't really know how to promote it. She didn't feel confident, and she didn't really believe she was good enough. So she took part in the course, began to realize her worth, and that I am my business. How cool is that? She now asks for payment more upfront. She doesn't give herself away. She prices her worth, and she doesn't concentrate on the amount she charges, but on what the product or treatment can do. And by increasing her prices, she hasn't had fewer clients or sales. So it's a complete myth. It's just our own head talking to us that if we put our prices up, we'll lose people. My experience is that when I raise my prices, I get more people, because we attract committed people rather than people who could actually go to any healer because their needs are much more general. So I've shared with you two things, quite a lot of content within those two things. Here's the third thing, and I've kind of spoken about this already, but it's something that I truly, truly feel is very important, is to ensure you have the right type of support around you. In our world of energy modalities, we are the downloaders of the keys to healing the planet and ourselves. We work with the angelic and nature kingdoms. We work with sacred geometry, the invisible worlds, and to us, these worlds are very real. Yet it's hard to share this part of you with the everyday world. And I hope that you, well, I don't hope you experience this. I sense that you will also have an experience of that. So let me show you a very strange photograph. This is a bucket of crabs, which is a kind of funny energy, especially for a vegetarian like me. But this is a syndrome which kind of explains very well what happens in our modality. The bucket of crabs syndrome is where, if you put crabs in a bucket, if one of them tries to get out the bucket, all the other crabs will hold it in. It will stop it from climbing out. So what happens to many healers is that they start to gather their courage and they start to say, hey, I'm going to get really serious about this, and I'm going to give up my job and do this. And everybody in their family and friends turn around and go, why do you want to do that? You'll never be successful in that. You're never going to earn an income doing that. And I hear from so many healers that they have that reflected to them, and that really deflates them. And what happens is they allow themselves to be held in their own personal bucket. They kind of dim their light again to fit in so as to not make a fuss. So the importance of being surrounded by others who can pull you out of that bucket is so, so important. I couldn't have done what I've done if I hadn't been surrounded by the women. I shared with you a big blip on my path when I was judged for what I was doing. It would have been so easy to have climbed back into my hole, but I didn't, because I had this whole group of people who kind of really held me as I cried and as I worked through what I was doing. So it can be really, really, really difficult. So this is one of the groups that I was actually telling you about. Is a lovely, lovely group. You can see me in the middle there, kind of to the right-hand side. So it's really, really important to find a tribe, which is a group of like-minded souls, and surround yourself with people constantly. Yeah, I'm sorry if the pictures aren't coming through. As I say, it's all happening normally here, so hopefully on recording it will be there, and I hope that you're getting the energy as it's coming through. So these are the people that can hold you up on days you can't do this for yourself. These people are not usually our partners, our husbands, wives. They're not usually our families, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers. They're often not usually our friends, and they may often not live in the same part of the world as us either. So what you're looking for is support that lifts you up so that you can see who you are when you're unable to see it for yourself. You're looking for support that sees bigger possibilities than you can. And you're looking for support that challenges you to be bolder and stronger than you ever felt was possible. So when you're in that place of about to give up, or when you're in that place when you're about to give yourself away, or make a decision that's not in alignment, your mentor or your group or whoever it is that's supporting you can reflect back to you who you are, and just raise your vibration up so that you can make another decision. So here's a couple of people who have really benefited from the support. This is Morwenna. Morwenna started Create a Magical Business with me shortly after her husband had died. And she was, as you can imagine, as a single mom with young children in a very strange place. What she's actually done now, and you can probably imagine her unique gift, is actually she's become a soul bereavement coach. And it's quite a few years on now. But she needed that support. She was in such a vulnerable place that she needed to be surrounded and held by people who literally just held her. So, and it was in that holding space that she allowed herself to very gently begin to take steps again into the world. And now she has a successful program and the beginnings of a very, very successful business. This is Julie. Julie joined Create a Magical Business last year. Again, she is a very successful, or I should say, yes, successful, but experienced practitioner. She's been practicing since 2006. And she very sweetly says, Sarah was the first person to really acknowledge that I had a business. And using the word business and healer so freely has given me the validation, faith and courage I needed to pursue my big dreams and ambition and confirmation in all that I do. So I believe that your gift is so worthwhile that you can call in prices and ways of living that you had not dreamed were possible. I hold that light for you right now. So I want you to start acknowledging the fact that it's absolutely possible to have a business. And in order to do that, if you put into place the 3 things that I've shared with you tonight, you will see big, big shifts. Finally, here's a lady called Maria. Maria joined Create a Magical Business and again was an experienced coach, had done so much healing. She'd even worked in the business world for a while. She listened to the webinar just like you are now and knew that she needed, that she was pretty good at beating herself up, as she says, using the stick on myself. But I needed someone who would guide me and encourage me with carrots. Her challenge, and I completely understood this, and you know why, because you heard at the beginning, is that she had no money. So we had a chat and we agreed a payment plan that worked for both of us. And she came on board, made all of her payments, and has now gone on. It kick-started her business, and she's out there now sharing what she does with so much more confidence and so much more knowing that she is really supposed to be doing what she's doing. And she says, Create a Magical Business ranks up there as one of the best investments I've ever made. So she needed that support. She had a lot of the other things, but she needed to be held. So I hope you found value in those 3 sharings. So please remember, this isn't a theory. These are things that I have actually done, that I followed to take myself from being very broke, very unhappy, to now living here in France, supporting my family and myself from my business. They're the same principles if you're starting out in your practice, or if you're an experienced practitioner. I still do these things that I'm sharing with you right now. They're still part of what I do all the time. They're principles that I've learned from mentors who are acclaimed in their fields and that I have personally invested in. And they are also emerging principles that flow through me from the nature kingdom. So what it's really about, as you know, it's about us making a difference in the world. It's about allowing ourselves to receive financially, and just to allow those words to go in. Maybe make it into an affirmation. I allow myself to receive financially. It's about taking aligned action. I've explained to you what I mean by that. And surrounding yourself with positivity and trust. And growing your confidence and sense of self-worth as a healer who also wants a business. So I don't know quite why you turned up today. I'm really pleased that you did. It might be that you're just fed up because you've got no idea how to generate clients and income. That's where I was. You might just be really, really passionate and you wanted to find out more about how you can help others. If that's why you came here, amazing. Please go share your passion. Maybe you're kind of halfway there, but you want more. So that's also great. I'm pleased that you're here. So I hope that you understand that I have found a way to create a successful business and stay in integrity as a healer. That's certainly what I aim for. Going on this journey, learning how to create your business is the biggest self-development journey you will ever go on. And it transforms your life amazingly. I've invested quite a lot of time. I've invested quite a lot of money and lots of courage in learning to do what I do from top mentors. And it's something that you can do too. And I hope that you can hear in my voice and what that I've shared with you today, that I totally believe that you can do it. So what I want to do now is share with you a little bit about the Create a Magical Business that I run. So I've shared with you the 3 things that you need to do if you're serious about sharing your gifts with the world and earning money. So you've got 2 choices here. So you can do it in the old world way, and I completely respect any decision that you make today. You can go it alone. You can go, great, I've got lots of nice information now. I'm going to go and do it all on my own. I've done that, and it's a very valid way of doing things. So you can go away and find out what your sacred gifts are, find a business plan, maybe find someone to help you who's aligned with the healing world and has had success as well, and find support from a tribe that uplifts you so that you can grow and become more empowered. Or I invite you to come and join me on the course that I've created to deliver all of these 3 things to you. And I'd love to share with you now about my Create a Magical Business course. So that's its name. It's called Create a Magical Business. It's something that I've created that's a real labor of love. And I wanted to create something that worked with the base layer of why it's so hard for therapists to take their healing businesses forward. We can learn all the techniques in the world. We can be amazing healers. But if we're blocked around our beliefs about receiving money, then we stay stuck. So Create a Magical Business was born from wanting to take my life to the next level. So as I shared, I needed to learn how to do this myself. And so what I share in this program is how I have done what I've done. It offers you the very same materials that I used myself and continue to use to move myself from being in the very broke place that I shared with you to now being able to sustain myself. I don't want you to have to take the time and angst that I took to take what you love forward. If you start in alignment, and I can help you do that, and then take the steps forward that I share with you, I promise you, you will begin to see a big shift in your business and your life. So this is the Create a Magical course. It is an easy to use system that helps you get past your money blind spots so you can make powerful financial decisions in your personal life and your health, practice or business. I shared with you that I am a qualified and certified sacred money archetype coach and money breakthrough method coach. So it's a lot of those tools that I use to help you with this. So it gives you the tools to get yourself unstuck from any money issues that arise in your personal and business life. And it will help you end inner conflict and stress around money. It's designed to offer you lasting transformation with money, designed with a feminine, nature-infused, insightful approach. It contains step-by-step exercises. Remember, I told you the importance of doing step-by-step, which I personally guide you through via audios and videos, especially designed downloadable templates. And this ensures that you dive deep and get the full benefit of this powerful work. So the handouts and templates are all downloadable. You get to keep them for life. And I support you on the path to mastering both the spiritual and practical aspects of money. It also gives you personalized action step assignments after each module, which are designed to help you apply what you're learning so that it really, really sticks. So this gives you the steps. Remember, I shared with you at the beginning the importance of not going into that spiral of getting the qualification, get your business card printed, wait for clients, they don't turn up, get disappointed, think that you aren't enough, so go and get another qualification. The missing bit there is you have the qualification. You have everything you need to take it into the world, because remember, your gift is inside you. It's not outside of you. So you have everything you need right now to take yourself forward inside you. So when you discover your sacred gift and immerse yourself in a process, over time, you start to get really, really clear on what that is. And that is what will help you then print your business card, and ensure that the steps you take afterwards continue to be in alignment. So this is the life that it helps you have. That's the energy that I wish for you, rather than this energy, which I felt myself, and I sense that possibly some of you feel too. So not only will you learn your own unique gifts, but you'll also get an aligned step-by-step plan. So remember, I've told you the importance of knowing your own unique gift and doing things step-by-step within a plan. And I'll also be providing the support to ensure that you feel safe and confident. So imagine what it would feel like if you could discover what your 3 core money strengths are and how to use them to make more money in your healing business. And in the process, you cracked the code of your unique money personality. Imagine if you could explore and enhance your true worth so that you can ask for prices that reflect your worth with ease and grace. Sounds good, doesn't it? Imagine if you could bring forth clients that truly need your healing gifts, not just anybody, but need your healing gifts, not mine, your healing gifts, and are therefore happy to pay you your worth. And imagine working with a nature-based program that is created for healers, that is aligned to seasons and lunar cycles, and supports you in co-creating your soul desires. So imagine as well being part of a community of healers that all come from a healing background and who support you, understand you, and hold you to your highest potential. You're not allowed to fall down your hole. You are held to your highest potential. So this will work for you if you are an experienced healer or a healing business owner. It'll work if you're a newly qualified practitioner or partway through your studies. It will work if you feel you need to learn more or be more, and I understand that, more confident before you begin learning how to create your business. And very importantly, it'll work even if you feel you don't have a business bone in your body. So this is what you're going to get. You're going to get 13 weeks of content leading you through a deep dive of writing a brand new money story. So we begin with the sacred money archetype work. As I shared, I'm a trained and certified sacred money archetype coach. And not only will you discover your top archetypes, but you're also be going through a deep dive of aligned step-by-step processes to help you get clear on your gifts and feel empowered around setting prices, knowing your worth, and asking for and receiving your worth. It's 13 weeks. It's delivered online via my membership site. You have weekly modules, a monthly call with me, and support. So it will help you get through your current situation, reframe what you're going through now. It helps you start to attract money with ease and grace. You need to work the program for this to happen. But if you work the program, it will take you there. It will help you get clear on your money challenges and use them to power you forwards. It helps you to align your strengths with your dreams and actions. Now, I'm putting values here. Now, this is not the cost of the course by anything, not the cost at all of the course, but I'm just giving it to you here to give you some kind of sense of what I believe is the value of what I'm offering. So, as well as that, I asked myself, so I want you to go out there and share your gifts to the world. So if you had your sacred money archetypes, what else would you need to do it? So to me, it felt it was really important that you had immediate clarity regarding your individual and unique healing gifts. So remember, we spoke about the need to specialize and really know your own gifts. So when you do that, it's a lot easier to bring your clients towards you. So there's also a part of the course where you can gain immediate clarity regarding your own individual and unique healing gifts and how you can start earning money right now with them. So specializing rather than trying to serve everybody is your way forward. So here's the two things so far that I've explained to you. That come with the 13-week course. So what else are you going to get? So that's what you're getting so far. So let's just move on. So what else do you need? I thought to myself. So remember the step-by-step exercises that I shared with you, that we also need to do very practical things. So I share with you the step-by-step exercises that I personally use and still use, where I found the people who filled my courses and who I've worked with one-to-one. So I will guide you through those specific exercises as part of the 13 weeks. And there again, you can find the value, not the price. So there's the three things you're getting: your weekly materials, your personalized guide for each archetype, and your specific modules with the step-by-steps. So what else do you need? I thought, well, it also felt to me that it was really important. Again, one of my healing gifts and something that I find great joy is taking care of people. So I also wanted to provide something in the program where I could support you personally and answer your questions for you directly, so that I could show you and support you and give you a sense of belief in your path. So we also have a monthly meeting. It's live. If you can't be there, we record it. You can send through your questions. So that's a place where I give you individually, as part of the group, specific guidance and answers to your questions and support you in achieving what I know is possible. We also have, so there's just to catch up. We also have practical implementation to make sure you bring your gifts through into the physical. So I invite you, we have a forum and you're invited to do weekly accountability. And in a weekly way, I give guidance via the forum. So I'm with you all the time and you have all the support of the group as well. So we also have new moon webinars. You're invited to join us for a new moon webinar. Again, it's all recorded, and this gives you the opportunity each lunar cycle to start again and take the steps you need to bring it into manifestation. Remember how important I feel it is to work with the cycles that nature gives us rather than the man-made calendars. So here's what you're going to get: your weekly materials, specific guides to creating income, practical modules that give you step-by-step monthly meetings, new moon webinars. And as I've already shared, there's also a way to get support and encouragement from our community via the forum. So to sum up, what I'm offering is to give you guidance through the exact steps that I took that transformed me from a broke healer to a thriving one, and offering you the opportunity to take part in a program that is explained in language understood by and aligned with healers and therapists, to learn the business tools from a healer who's also a successful businesswoman. And these tools, remember, I learned from world-class mentors myself. You get everything delivered online. You can watch and take part at times convenient to you, and you have lifetime access to the materials. So a reminder of what you're going to get. With a total value of over £2,000. So if all this did was to give you 3 extra clients per week, making you an extra £75. Now I'm actually pricing that really, really low. I hope that you charge more than £25 per client. But let's say you do that. If you got 3 more clients and it gave you an extra £75 a week, I hope that you think it would be worth it. If all it did was give you an energetic kick up the backside to finally get you visible, sharing your healing and receiving money, would it be worth it? I hope so. And if all it did was stop all the self-doubt, all the fear, all the procrastination and believing healers cannot earn money from sharing their gifts, would it be worth it? I sincerely hope so. So I had 2 choices when I actually put this program for what it was worth. But then I knew that I would place it out of the very reach of the people who needed it. That's you. I knew that if I asked you for over £2,000, there would be very few people who would be able to afford it. I understand that completely. The second option was to make it as accessible as possible to as many healers as possible, but without diminishing the very real value on offer. And what I've learned offering my courses and being in business is that when I offer what I do at prices that are too low, it attracts people that don't value them. And when I began to ask for slightly higher prices, I found that the clients I attracted were much more serious and more committed and much more likely to take action. Now, I hope you hear in my voice that I want you to take action. I don't want you to buy a course, to invest in a course and then not do anything, to just have it alongside other courses that you might have invested in. I want you to take your healing into the world. That's one of my gifts, is to encourage and support that. So I made the decision a few years ago that the people I want to work with and whom I know I can help get results are people who are willing to make a small investment. So it's cost me over £25,000 and growing to learn, refine and perfect this. And remember, I've earned enough as a result to relocate to a country, bring my family with me and live here with my business as my sole means of income. So this is an investment. It's not a cost. Try to think of it as in a new way, and then greater the investment, the greater the return as well. So I could have priced it at over £2,000. A few years ago, I actually ran this course and I sold it for £997, and I ran it for nearly a year at that price. But as I've gone further down my path, and I know that there are so many of you out there that really, really want to share your gifts, and I've realized how passionate I am about helping you, I've got a special price for you for being part of this training. But I also just wanted to let you know that as well as everything that I've shared with you so far, for taking part, I'd also love to invite you to join me for our next 29-day online Manifesting with the Moon journey. So if you come on board the 13-week training, you'll also be invited to join our next journey. They're very fun journeys. They give you a first-hand experience of journeying with a like-minded group of healers, setting intentions at new moon, and then actually following the moon cycle through. It gets you the experience in the muscle, and you can see how the natural world can support you. The other bonus that I want to offer you, if you'd like to come on board the course, is using my Sacred Money Archetype hat, which is a clearing money clutter and creating sacred space bonus. And here I walk you through the 6 quick and easy action steps of the clearing money clutter process on how to create space. It's really important. If we're trying to bring in the new when the cupboard is already full, it's very hard. So this is one of the first steps, especially with money, that we start to look at the clutter that we have in beliefs, in emotions, and maybe physically around us as well, so we can clear some sacred space so we can invite in the new. So this is what you're going to get. Remember, there's a list of all the things that are part of the 13-week course. Your weekly materials, individualized income generating materials for each archetype, practical steps to take you forward, monthly meetings, new moon webinars, our forum with accountability, and your 2 bonuses of Manifesting with the Moon and Clearing Money Clutter. So as a thank you for being here on this training, what I want to do is to offer you this training for £497 or for 4 installments of £135. So you can see the links there where if you are interested in taking part, you can click or cut and paste, copy them, and it will take you to a page and you can join the program literally as soon as you make your payments. So now it's your turn to have 2 choices now. So first of all, this is your first option. Lots of people attend webinars. I know I have, and sometimes still do. And we enjoy them, but we don't take up the offer. That's absolutely okay if it's not in alignment with you. So, but I also want you to know that there is a second option, and that if you make this small investment today and take action on making your healing business a reality, it will bring you great, great rewards. If it works, great. If not, please just ask for your money back within 14 days and you will get it. All I'll ask for you is to show me some proof that you have worked through the materials and taken action. If it's not working for you, I will refund all of your money if it's not to you. That's a promise that I make for you. So there we go. There's the 14-day guarantee. Just let me know Work through the programs for the first 2 weeks. If it's not for you, just let me know, but at least you will have tried. So this is how you can get started with the full pay of £497 or the 4 installments of £135. I'll be sending you an email as well with these in to make it a little bit easier for you. So the real question is now, is it worth taking a leap of faith and trusting in what I've shared with you? I know I made big leaps, and some of the people I shared with you this evening that have already taken part were big leaps of faith. Are you ready to make an investment and therefore a commitment to the sacred gifts you've been given? If so, this is all you need to do is click on the links here and you can get started straight away. So the special offer of £497 or 4 installments of £135 is open for the next 5 days or 120 hours. So if you need some time to have a think about it, I absolutely understand that. But this price will close after 5 days. Now, this isn't a kind of sleazy sales technique. I fully, truly believe that it's really good to be asked to get clear on the way forward, because we hold a lot of energy in the shall I, shan't I's. So I'm just inviting you now to get clear. If it's for you, then your heart will know the way forward. If it's not for you, that's absolutely okay too. But it will, this time of 5 days will ask you to make the decision. And if the decision is yes, I'd be delighted to welcome you on board and support you. If it's a no, then we are both free to keep walking on our own paths. So whatever you decide today, you're saying yes to something. So are you going to say yes to continuing to feel tired and burned out if you've undercharged for so long and given so much of yourself away? Are you going to say yes to holding back on investing in your business, which long-term can keep your energy and horizons feeling stuck and closed? Are you going to say yes to continuing to restrict your business, putting others first and yourself last? Or are you going to say yes to opening a new channel to the divine feminine, finally allowing yourself to receive, giving yourself sacred permission to expand, in enriching a relationship with yourself and thereby creating expansion for yourself and those of your love? Are you going to say yes to making decisions more easily, feeling more positive, feeling a surge in your self-worth and an increase in your income? Are you going to say yes to knowing your own sacred gifts and what practical steps you can use to take these forward? And yes to having more money for the people, experiences and good things you want in your life, and empowering you to make new choices that make you happier. So if you have further questions, you are very, very welcome to book in for a free 30-minute chat with myself. This will lock in your special price of $497 or 4 payments of $135. There's the link that you will need to use. I'll send it through to you in an email. So in this chat, if you've got any questions that I haven't covered, I promise that I will help you get clear as to whether this is the right course for you. And if it's not, then we can get really clear together on that way forward. So I hope that you feel somewhere inside you a yes to sharing your gifts, that those that need you. I've done everything I can today to share with you my own journey and how dreams can come true, and how the nature kingdom is truly a place where you can earn money and share your gifts and remain authentic and loving. I haven't held back on how much I'd love you to take part. You deserve this, and there are clients minutes away from you right now who would love to know about you and pay you for your healing gifts, and they deserve you, and it could all begin here. I truly, truly believe that. So this is how that you can get started. The planet needs you more than it's ever, ever needed you. It needs you to be courageous, and it needs you to begin to transcend all that's ever held you back. Remember the decision I shared with you that I made, where I needed to just take the leap of faith. I knew in my heart that I needed to say yes, and I did, and my life changed forever. So will you join me? You will know in your heart what your answer is. So thank you for your time today. I hope you've enjoyed learning how you too can take your business forward. I appreciate your being here greatly. I appreciate your wish to take your business into the world. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me by emailing sarah@createamagicalbusiness.com, or you can go straight ahead to the links that you can see here right now. So let's get you started. Let's get you included in our community and having access to our specially created materials for complementary therapists. I'd love to welcome you, and I'd love to get to know you better. And I'd love to help you embrace the healer that is inside of you so that you can share your gifts and have a successful business. So I'm sending you lots of love, lots of blessings, and thank you for taking part this evening.